Hi, and welcome to the Pet Healer Podcast. This is your host, Dr. Misty Vargas, and today we're part 2 of the exciting new drugs in the market, FDA-approved drugs that have no other, competition really because we didn't have any other options. And so last time we discussed the exciting news of the treatment for anemia called Varenicline from Elanco, and then we also spoke about the treatment for parvovirus, which is going to be exciting because it's also Elanco, and it is a monoclonal antibody for parvo. And then this time we're going to talk about Librela. I've been waiting for Librela for a while. Librela, it's the name of the first injectable monoclonal antibody treatment for canine osteoarthritis, and we are still waiting. My name is on it. I really want this because Librela, it targets the nerve growth factor and controls the canine pain at that level. So it is different because the other ones block the COX pathways of pain. This is a completely different thing. It functions just like a natural antibody. It's metabolized just by the liver and the kidneys, just with minimal involvement of liver and kidneys. It just degrades in the body. I think monoclonal antibody type medications, they are more holistic in my opinion. They are working with the receptors. They're working with the bodies, so mimicking certain things of the body, rather than, destroying things. And so I think that we know that dogs are living longer. We know that they are obesity is a big factor in America. There's a big obesity epidemic in the dogs, and a lot of them are senior. And all of this contributes to osteoarthritis. And I think that about 80% of all my patients above 5, or canine patients I'm talking about, and cats probably, I would say 50% above 5 will have some degree of osteoarthritis. And cats more like 10. But in dogs, especially large breeds, about 5 years old, my friend, they start having those issues. And we know that acupuncture works wonderful. And we know that we do have some good non-steroidal anti-inflammatories that work, but they do have side effects. So acute treatment is great with Western medicine. We have gabapentin and we have muscle relaxants, and we have all sorts of things that we can give, and rest, obviously. And then we know the holistic path works, acupuncture for the chronic area, acupuncture, and we know that herbs work. But we're talking about pain, and pain is not the silver bullet type approach. That never really works. It is a synergistic approach of a multimodal approach. And so I think that definitely that this Librela is going to be a big hit with us here. We do a lot of sports medicine. We do a lot of seniors, and this is really going to help tremendously. They might take 2 doses to really see the effect because it kind of builds upon it, but it does modify that pain signal. So I'm really exciting. It's really exciting because the other product that came out for cats, Solensia, that has been a hit here in our practice. We've got testimonials of clients that the kitty cats were always in the refrigerator when they were young, and it's been years since they were able to even climb that high, and they now are going back to their usual spots that they love to be at. So that's really heartwarming and positive feedback. And so we found across maybe 1 or 2 people that really didn't they saw benefit, but not what we were expecting, and they stopped it. But most, I would say 9 out of 10, they are extremely satisfied, and they've seen dramatic improvement with Solensia, which is a monoclonal antibody for cats. But this one is Librela, will be for dogs. So I've been excited waiting for it because I knew they were working on the FDA approval. And supposedly at the end of this year, 2023, we're going to get this on. And I really, analgesics and other things are going to, any other regenerative treatments are going to work well with this. So I do PRP as well here, and I do inject joints too with polyglycan and other um, injectables like PRP. And I would use it in acupuncture points as well, the PRP. And I have seen, really good control of pain. And so I am excited to just add something that perhaps if the pet is not a candidate for acupuncture, or perhaps there's situation where they live far, because we have some clients that come 2 hours and longer to come to our place for acupuncture and other holistic or integrative medicine, then these people can be maybe managed a little bit longer if we have something that kind of works with the receptors like this does. So I'm excited. I'm glad that it got the approval, and I'm just waiting to get my first batch of those. And I hope that they don't run out like they did with Solencia. It's really hard when a new product comes and everybody's excited. Then everybody wants to do the hurricane in Florida type behavior, where you want to hoard a lot of stuff and then you want to let anybody else try it. So it comes in different, I believe it's 5 different sizes. So it's exciting. It's for different sizes of dogs, and it's a once a month, and it's just going to hopefully be one of the big points in the treatment of osteoarthritis for canines. And then the other drug that concludes this episode is the new oral Lyme disease vaccine. And this is exciting. Why? In my beginning of my career, the old Lyme disease vaccines were a little bit of a problem, because they had a lot of reactions, because it's a bacterin. So a bacterin can evoke a lot of allergic hypersensitivity reactions. So we did have some cases where the pets were even temporarily paralyzed. This was a case that was referred for me for acupuncture, but it was right after a Lyme disease vaccine. Luckily, we recovered that dog perfectly fine. But it is just scary that little itty bitty dogs and such, the reaction was so bad. But we have to admit that Lyme disease exists, and Lyme disease has changed, because it used to be in Pennsylvania and up north only. But because a lot of Yankees are living here right now, they're bringing with them their ticks and the Lyme disease. And so some of the southern ticks could also carry the Lyme disease. So this is expanded also with the bird migration and the suburban sprawl, and we're invading their different areas where it was ecosystems that we weren't there. Now it's just urbanizing everything. If you don't believe me, come to Florida and you'll see that every corner is being, where there were oranges, is being turned into a subdivision. And so with that comes a displacement of wildlife, and ticks are wildlife. So we don't think about them as animals, but they are. And so they are going to find a way in our backyards and in our animals. And so the Lyme disease is not a good thing to have. Absolutely. They may continue to be carriers of Lyme disease for life. They might have episodes of relapse where they have arthritis and other issues. I have a dog that every couple of years gets a polyarthritis, and it is the Lyme disease. It carries it, we treat it, and then it goes away for a couple of years. We do have our own Lyme disease formula. I think it's called that, Lyme disease formula, and it's an herbal. So I always try to do the holistic approach, integrative medicine. But in some cases, it's much better to do the vaccine. The good news about this oral Lyme disease vaccine is that the company that is behind it is trying to really help with the vaccine. Is from US Biologic Inc. And it is trying to use the wildlife, use it for wildlife, use it for golf courses and recreational facilities and different public lands, and they're gonna just try to attack the wildlife. And there's a Global Lyme Alliance and Lyme Disease Association. They're working to obtain this vaccine and then kind of like help to treat not just pets and everything, but this is obviously the conditional license is only for wildlife. But I am waiting until they prove that it works, and that hopefully we'll get that for dogs. So right now is the conditional, the approval of the FDA, and it's only for wildlife. But we know that treating the wildlife, treating the mice, treating, doing pellets and putting it out there is going to reduce the incidence of Lyme disease. And again, it used to be a disease from up north, but in Florida, we have diagnosed Lyme disease here in our patients, and we have seen an increase of those diagnoses in the last 10 years. And it's no coincidence that we've seen an increase in population, especially moving from north here to Florida in the last 10 years. So I really think that Florida should be one of the first places that start treating the wildlife with the oral pellets for wildlife. But I think that is in the near future, once they prove that the incident is gone, that is safe and effective, that they hopefully in the future will do an oral vaccine for Lyme disease for dogs and cats. Well, for dogs at least. Well, I think that these two are exciting developments, and I know that FDA is not the end all, but at least it gives you confidence that these have been put to some trials, that there's some effectivity. We, as an integrative practitioner, I always will use it in conjunction with the trusted and tried acupuncture points and herbals that have done so much good for my patients. So I hope that you're excited as I am to see this developing news about products and things that can help us keep our pets longer and living healthier lives. I hope you liked that episode, and if you did, share with a friend or hit the notification button so you don't lose the next one. Until then, stay well.